Thank you for being here. Instead of lip balm, or in place of lip balm, we have one City Lips, and this one is Sparkling Cider, which is described as warm toned rose gold hue subtle shimmer. Whew, that was a mouthful. You see the title, so you know what we're doing. This is going to be challenging because, let me try and hold all three of these up. We are going to be using, I'm not going to be able to hold all three of these up. So we're going to be using both of our Esum palettes, and what I'll do is I'll hold up Intensity, which is number 2, with the Natasha Denona bronze palette. And initially I was not going to get the bronze palette, and it took me a long time to get the bronze palette because everything is going to kind of look the same, and most of them do blend in with my complexion. However, I thought it still would be very easy to use. I can put almost anything anywhere and it's going to look right, because nothing is going to be boom pow, because it's going to blend into my complexion. So we're going to pair number 2 Intensity from Esum, and for mattes we're going to use number 1, which is Balance from Esum, with the Natasha Denona. And so why it's going to be challenging is remembering which shade is what as I put them on. But I have a plan, but I do think I'm just gonna pick one shade from somewhere and then just match it with the other one, because yeah, me working out of 2 palettes from Esum just for the one for Natasha Denona, I'm like, I don't know. So we're going to prime the eye and come back and get started with this look. And as usual, as you're watching, if you think you know what side is what side, click to comment, and then on the far left of the comment box you can click the clock that's there, and that'll timestamp your comment. And so yeah, I'm interested to see if you guys will know like which is what. And yes, 1 palette versus 2, but however with the Esum ones we do have a lot more variety, and I do have a playlist for the Esum palettes, and I have a playlist for Natasha Denona bronze palette, so do check those out, and I'll probably put them in the eye cards or something. And so let's prime the eye and get into this look. All right, y'all, we're going to get started, and this is going to be challenging. We're going to just see. I do believe they're going to be pretty though, because as I said, these tones do complement my skin tone by blending into my skin tone. And when I've done looks before with these types of colors, comments were, oh, that looks really great on you, blah blah blah. And it's because it's very simple, not in a bad way, but in the sense that it is going to just blend in, which means it is going to look nice. And so it just adds, you know, a little shimmer, a little shine, or a little something, you know, to my eyelids without being a lot of color or anything that's super bold. And so I do understand it, and y'all know I prefer darker, but again, as I had said, like, these tones are very easy for me to work with. Both of these palettes are very easy for me to work with. I'm trying to see what goes with what here, and yeah, I'm scratching my head because I'm just like, what? Okay. All right, here we go with the second shade. And so it is going to be very monochromatic-ish type look, and we're not even going to, yeah, we'll overlap a little bit. I was going to say that we weren't, but then as I looked up here, I was able to see a line of where one color was and one color started. And so we're going to put this here. If this is your color story, if you prefer these types of looks, or even as you look through my Natasha bronze palette, if you look through my Esum playlist, both of them are easy to work with. So what it would come down to, if you get either one, would be, you know, how much variety would you like to have? Because with the bronze palette, it's only going to be the same types of looks. Whereas with the Esum, yes, it's 2 palettes instead of 1, but it does give you more variety. And Esum is designed as a professional makeup brand, which is why one is shimmer and one is matte. Because if you want to do an all matte shoot, an all matte look for a photo shoot, the camera will pick up the slightest pieces of shimmer on the face from that eyeshadow look. And so that's why some brands do have all matte palettes and some have all shimmer palettes, particularly, you know, like Esum. And what other brand? Makeup Forever as well. I think they have all matte and all shimmer. For the Esum, for both of the palettes together, unless you catch a sale, would be $200. And for the Natasha Denona, that's her MIDI, so it's $69. So it really just depends on what you want. Natasha Denona PAO is 24 months. For Esum is 18 months. And so you will still get a lot of use out of both of them if you use them both on a regular or even semi-regular basis. I think I'm going to have to take another brush to blend out that top line. So we'll go ahead and take out 2 of these that we usually use for blending when we don't have a transition shade. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to feather because I don't want the shadow to travel. So we're not even going to feather it. We'll just work on that later. How much space do I have? Okay, what are we going to do now? Y'all, this is exciting for me. I hope it's exciting for you. I do really enjoy these shadows. I don't think this is going to be enough. Let's see. Oh. I was going to say something, but no. I'll hold on to that. This is a pretty shade. Y'all know I'm liking it because it's not bronzy tone. But look how the light hits that center shade. How it looks like it's almost not there, but then when you turn, I like this. I like that. That's nice. And we're just going to travel this over on the top line very gently. And so, oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. I be tripping, y'all. I be tripping. Let me know if you enjoy these beauty face-offs. Let me know. And for me, they're always interesting to see like just how close something is. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. This did a lot for this look, in my opinion. It looks almost like a sunset because you have your gold and then you have the reddish shimmer and then you have the purple. So it's almost like a sunset. Ooh. Excuse me. That reminded me I didn't do the intro. Hello and welcome. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube because it's a crazy concept to just be your authentic self and not be overly concerned with what other people may think of you. Just be who you are and try not to act like or be like something or someone that you're not. Your people will find you. And the troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. You may hear you need to use this brand, this tool, this technique. I'm here to tell you, use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that that's pretty, in a way that you are satisfied with it. The bottom line here is self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. And yes, I did go back to the brush that had this color on it. Each shadow gets its own brush. So if you're thinking I switched up brushes, I didn't. I have multiples of brushes that I love. I have too many brushes. I'm still considering doing a brush declutter video. And I've done it before. And I do take good care of my brushes. And I do wash them before sending them out. I wash them after every use. And I would hope that when you receive them or whoever receives them will still wash them anyway. I use Dawn dish detergent to wash my brushes. So my brushes stay looking new for a very long time. And ones I've given away before, they were like, oh my gosh, like these look like brand new brushes. And I'm like, yeah, I take care of my stuff. But anyway, let me know below if you think I should do a brush declutter video. The shapes are way different. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I really don't know. Let's bring this down right here by just patting. Actually, that's not working. Let's just bring this out, feather this out some. Ooh, that'll do it. Ooh, okay. Okay. The last few looks, I think I used a fluffy brush for outer corner because it did make it easier to wing it, but then I was missing the depth of how I pack shadows on in the first place. And so it's kind of like, okay, use the blending brush and get the shape and then go back with a packer brush and pack like in this area here, but leave the wing part alone. I have not come this far out before. Not, well, I did, I think, for like a certain look I was doing, and the shapes are still different, but I do like that though. It's looking like there's a gap, and that's why I keep going like this, but it's really not. So we're going to take the brush for this side, and let me tap in, and we're going to just bring that out a little bit more because this side is way out. I do love that shape though. So I am glad we were able to get that. And so we're going to pat it and then feather it using the pointy side, well, the side that's angled. I love these brushes. This side is still more full, meaning it seems thicker. The wing seems thicker than this one, and maybe it is further out. Maybe that's why. And I don't want to do too much because y'all know, if you've been here, sometimes I do team too much, and it's just like we just gonna rock it anyway because that's what we do here. So this line is a lot more rounded, and let me know also, like, does it take you like, do you find yourself going back and forth trying to get each side the same? I think I like this shape better, but I do like this shape too. And I'm trying to look at it to see, like, what is it that I need to do to get this side more rounded like the other side. This side is up to my brow. I do notice that. So let's, but if I keep, okay, I think we're almost there. This side does have a tendency to be more straight, where this side is more rounded. And I've been trying to be conscious of what am I doing with how my hand is positioned that I keep getting those shapes. We're going to leave this like this, and these colors do look different. This looks like a deeper, looks like it has a burgundy base to it, where this does just look more purple. But I'll save my thoughts till later because I'm having thoughts already. We're going to do a shade under our brow. This is a tad tricky. All right, let's go with this one. And I probably should have used a slimmer brush, a thinner brush. I didn't plan on taking this purple over into the transition area. So this is turning into just a brow bone shade. And I do like that. It doesn't look like much is there, but it does look not much different. I was gonna say it looks different than over there, but when I looked at it, it doesn't. So we're gonna leave it like that. Y'all, I be tripping sometimes, or at least I feel like I do. What shade are we matching with that? Damn. Did we use that one? We didn't use this one. So just trying to keep up with like what I did or did not use. You know what I just realized, y'all? I didn't use none of the mattes yet. The mattes were the hardest to look at and be like, okay, this could, you know, be similar to that. But we are going to put a matte underneath our lower lash line, and we are going to use a black for upper lash line. I was going to use a dark brown, but I think it'll just kind of blend in. And so, yeah, go ahead and put below if you think, like, what you think, what is where. I don't have any fallout at all from either one of these palettes. Not a single drop. Excuse me if you heard that in my throat. So we're going to do lower lash line. I'm doing this because the foundation and concealer is creasing, but we are going to do that again, pat that out again before we put powder on and all the other stuff, and we will edit that out as usual. What are we I'm like, which palette is where? So we're going to put this under here. What shade is this under here? I think I'm gonna use that shade. Underneath, we have one, a brown from NYX Cosmetics. Is it? Bestie sent me this along with other stuff. NYX Professional Makeup Vivid Rich Mechanical Eyeliner. And this shade is Smoking Topaz. And on our inner rims, we have from MAC Hellbent. And so this isn't going to look like much over top of that dark brown. And it is, you can see it, it is a dark shade, which I love. I like how this is blending down, and that's why I chose this brush, because I do want to blow it out, because y'all know I gotta do something. Even I really do like the outer corner, like how that that shade is dark. Oh, I look sick. Like I have a cold type sick because of how this is looking under my eyes. But I do like how it's super dark lash line, under lower lash line, and then this color. So I like that gradient of color. I like that. Let me pull out a mascara before I forget. We're going to use, we'll just use the Esum mascara. So now we're going to switch to the other eye. These shades don't really look similar, but on top of this dark brown, it does. I like this look. I like both of these looks. All right, I have thoughts. I'm gonna save them for later. But let me know what you think. Are these your color stories? What do you think about these two looks? What do you think is where? And so that is the question. Some of the beauty battles, people are like, I don't know. They're like, they look exactly the same to me. I can tell the difference, but I think it's because I'm looking at them in the pan and putting them on, and so I know like that there's a difference. Even when Bestie does her, she doesn't call them battles. I don't know if it's the why you don't need, or it might be that and some of her old school versus new school. Sometimes they do look the same. And so it's just preference on which palette you would want to get. I feel like I'm really taking my time with this, and I don't know why. Sometimes I breeze through stuff. You know what it is? Thank you for being here, because when I talk to y'all, it helps me like process stuff and figure it out. I just did like 3 looks with my Lethal Cosmetics newly BYOP, the one inspired by Mission XXX, and that one, some of those looks were like just 3 shades, 4 shades, and so some of those clips just doing the eyeshadow was like 15 minutes, and even now we're at 20 and we're still working on the eyes, and so I think that's why I feel that way. So we are going to use Black Mirror from MAC. This is a paint pot. They're designed as shadow bases, but you can use them for eyeliners. They're fluid lines. I probably could use their gray. The fluid lines are designed as eyeliners, but you can also use these as shadow bases. I think we're going to use the black, because I do think that'll just bring it out more. But I think Midnight Snack would go well with this too. So we'll be back after we do that. We did not need to blend out that upper line, so these are going to go home. We're going to do the upper lash line. We're going to do mascara. We're going to finish the whole entire face. I don't know what lip to do. I thought to do, my nose is itching. I thought to do a dark brown for the lip on top of this City Lips thing. I do think a black might be too much, but y'all know my favorite lip color is a black. And also the Sephora collection lipsticks don't work well over top of the City Lips, and so, but I'll figure out something. Maybe I'll just put a gloss on. I don't know, but I do think a purple lip would be nice with this. I really do, but we'll see. We'll be back and everything will be done. So for our lips, we put on Maleficent over top of the City Lips. That's what we have there. I'm loving this Esum mascara, y'all. Look at my lashes. So what are my thoughts? My thoughts are, I like this one better. Look at my wings, y'all. Look at my eyeliner wings. Almost, but not quite the same, but almost. I like this side better because of how this outer corner shade shows up. And so it does add more variety to the look, whereas this one, it does just, it's pretty, but it all just blends into like one shade, where this side is like, okay, that is different. And probably also, you know, it's a little bit lighter. And so that's what I think makes it stand out a little bit. This one does remind me of a sunset. This is like mud. And y'all know I like messy grunge, and so muddy looks, excuse me, is not a problem for me, but this does just all blend in. This all looks like the same shade except for the inner corner shade, where this side I can see 3 distinctly different eyeshadows. I see this gold shade, I see this whatever that is, and then I see the outer corner shade, and even bringing it up here, I can see that purple line right here, whereas this side, this outer corner shade blends into the center shade, so all you see is this one shade and then this inner corner shade. And even up here, like how you can see the purple here, this side, it just, it just blends in. It's a tad deeper than the lid shade, but it's still just like, maybe I'll just put a little bit more there. But let me know what you think is where. Let me get organized here. I do like both of these looks. Both of them were easy to work with. No fallout whatsoever from either one of these palettes. Well, out of the three. Neither one of these looks, I had zero fallout. So let me know what you think is where. I did consider doing another beauty face-off in with this video, but I'll see what the time looks like after I edit it, because we have two more planned. We have two more planned. So let me know, number one, do you think this is Esum or Natasha? Number two, do you think this is Esum or Natasha? So which one? Let me know. Left or right, I don't know if it flips me on your screen, like when I'm looking at your screen. So number two is my left eye. Number one is my right eye. So let me tell you what's where. So what we have on my right eye is Natasha Denona bronze palette. This is what's over here. And I do like the color story, and as I mentioned earlier, it is very easy for me to use because whatever I do is going to look right. It's going to kind of just blend in. Yeah, and there is some variety with these two shades here. This is the purple on the outer corner that blended into that reddish shade, which was this one right here. So, excuse me for these glares. So this red shade here, it just blended in with this purple. And they look like they wouldn't do that, but they did. The inner corner shade was this one right here, excuse me, and that did show up nice. Lower lash line was this shade right here. So I do like the look. So it depends on, do you want a basic color story? And you can deepen it with, I'll say this one, because this one, for me, is not really, it's deep, but it blends in with something else. So it's like, that's neither here nor there for me. But you can deepen any look, excuse me for that glare, with this shade right here. Or for upper lash line if you don't put dark shades on your lid. But I do like this palette. I am glad that I have it because it is one I would travel with because this is not messy at all and it's quick and easy. That means my left eye is Esum. So I do like this eye better. I really do. For lower lash line, this is the shade we used, this one down here, and that's all we used out of this palette. And I did mean to put another matte on the lid, but then, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, we didn't. Inner corner, we use this shade here. This one we use for our center lid, and this we use for our outer corner. And for lower, I showed you lower lash line already. Oh, for brow bone, we used, I don't know what we used for brow bone. I don't know what we used for brow bone, but what did we use for brow bone? I don't know, but yeah. So I'm digging it, and this is my first time using these palettes not in columns, because if you look back at my Esum playlist for this, each column is a look. You have a purple look, you have like a smoky bluish gray look, you have a bronze look, you know, dead center both of these palettes, and then you have like an orange, reddish, whatever, and then the last column is like a gray smoky look. So that's how we did it. So this is my first time using these palettes like not in columns, and I'm really digging it, and I am glad for this battle. They are similar, but I do think Esum provides me with more variety. Yeah, and I did know that just by looking at the palette. So if this is your color story and you're going to get use out of it, this is $69 full price. There are sales, there are coupon codes, and even on the Ulta website, you know, 20% off that includes prestige or use your rewards points. Both of these Esums together are $200 unless you catch a sale. I purchased a set for my kit, and then they went on sale. They bundled these with two of the mascaras for, I think it was $149, $140, I think it was. So I said I'm going to purchase these for myself, and I'm glad that I did. So they don't have sales often, but But when they do, I drink those sakis. I know I'm goofy. But when they do have sales, that's when, if I were you, I would buy these, or they're bundle deals. And when they do, I do post them on my community tab. And I do have a link to get you to the Esum website that is affiliated. And I do have a code with Natasha Denona. That's down below. So let me know if you were right. Let me know your thoughts. If you have the Esums, which are not much talked about, but these are like tried and true. And a lot of people compare these to, or say they remind them of Viseart palettes. And I don't know if it's the packaging or just the formula, but I do like this better than Viseart, because Viseart, for me, they're lighter tones, and I like darker tones. I like more depth, and so that's why I stopped buying Viseart. Not because I didn't like them, it just wasn't giving me the depth that I wanted to get. If you just want, you know, basic, easy color story, just a little variety, and again, it depends on your complexion. For me, it just kind of blends in, unless I purposely go dark, but then all the two dark shades blended in, which they didn't look alike in the pan, so I'm just like, what happened? But let me know if you have bronze. Let me know if you have Esum. What do you think of these looks? Like, which one is your favorite? The Natasha, my right eye, or the Esum, my left eye? So we're going to end this here. Stuff is popping up over here for you to watch. Let me know what you think. Self-acceptance, self-love. That's what we stand for here. So please indulge yourself in that and love yourself for you. You'll see me soon. Thanks.